There are people who stopped the 5th time. There are people who stopped the 6th time. They never did the 7th. But the miracle is at the 7th time. When faith doesn't make sense, what you tell yourself is, I won't murmur until I reach the end. Because when you murmur, God calls it an evil heart of unbelief. He told them they will get to the promised land. When they murmured, he said, I've heard you. Every day will become 1 year. The reason some of us, our wilderness journey became longer was because, although it didn't make sense, instead of keeping quiet, we started talking against God, and God interpreted it as evil. If you are a faith giant, there are many times where it will not make sense. And I'm not giving license for all of these strange prophetic actions. That's not what I'm saying. It may not make sense, but it does not mean it will defy God's character. Even if it doesn't make sense, it will not defy God's character. I'm not talking about all these prophets that are telling women to bath on the altar. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying there are instructions God gives you that will defy logic. Consistent with his character, yes, but defy logic. It will challenge you when God speaks like that. Some of you who are stingy, there are times when God wants to bless you. He now tells you, gather all your savings, take it to an orphanage. And you will now start crying because that was the month you made your highest profit. You will say, why was it not 2 months ago when nothing was in my account? When you didn't give me instruction, I was blessed. Is it now that I'm blessed you are giving me instruction? Yes, it's called faith. It looks funny, but this is why most of us never command the results of faith. Don't use logic to rationalize faith. You use faith to rationalize faith. That's why I say through faith we understand. It will make sense to you just because you believe in God, you believe in his ability, and you believe in his character. Number 7, trial of faith is the temptation to compromise. If you have not reached here, you have not seen the end of it. See, there are times when the moment God gives you instruction, or the moment you choose to walk by faith, that's when all the doors to compromise will open to you. You know Joseph, all he needed to do was to sleep with Potiphar's wife. His sorrows would have ended. Nobody would have known. But the guy said, in the whole of this house, the master has given me authority over all things except you. Genesis 39 verse 9. He said, how can I do this evil thing and sin against God? Many people say they are walking in faith. It's a lie. The moment compromise comes in, it's no longer faith. Those days when we were on campus, we started seeing some strange things. Weekend will finish, then sisters will show up. God has blessed me with BlackBerry. Over the weekend, brethren, let's help me thank this God. He has just blessed me with an Android tablet. When they are talking, you will lose your peace. You will, I believe God can, but do you mind sharing with us how? Meanwhile, this sister traveled to Kaduna, traveled to Lagos with an allergy. So God blessed her. His immorality she went to commit. An allergy gave her money for BlackBerry. It's 3 months later when she starts quarreling with her friends. Then you now hear, you, harlot like you. How what? How what? How what? Tell us more. Tell us more. We need to hear this thing because this is a cop. Wait, what? You see, suddenly the sister will become pious. It's okay, I forgive you. No, don't forgive. What? Let's hear the whole story. Yes, what happened? You will now hear. Forget, 3 months ago, she went to Lagos. We know. That's not faith. If you change figures at the office and build a house, that's not faith. If you compromise to get a result, that's not faith. Faith is pure. And those who go through faith, many times they failed before they got answers. But the reason they arrived on the mountain of answers was because when they were failing, they also refused to compromise. Nobody who compromises can be a faith giant. Joseph refused. Daniel refused. Daniel 1 verse 8, we will not compromise to defile ourselves by eating of the portion of the king's meat. Try us. See, write these things down. Oh. Meditate on them. They may be too many for you to apprehend them now. Listen to this message again. Write them down. You will check on your journey that you will meet many of these things as you travel in faith. The day you perfect all of these battles, you can stand like Samuel and say, I lift up my hands to heaven. There's no man here that can accuse me. And to prove to you that I'm a prophet, let rain fall in dry season and it will happen. That's the power of purity talking. He said, I never took a lamb from one of you. I never took a bribe from one of you. I served in purity as a prophet. If I did anything wrong with anybody, let that person testify. I lift my hand to heaven. That's a faith man talking. If I tell you I prospered, God prospered me. If I tell you there's a miracle, God did it. There's no manipulation anywhere. Faith is showcased in the excellency of purity. Most of the things we are talking about are not faith. Are not faith. When I started learning the power move, I knew these people were too emotional. When I preach, suddenly they will sing some song. People will start for, and I said to myself, is it God that's touching these people? It's easy to hide under the thing. A point came and said, stop the keyboard. If God is touching people, let's know. If it's their emotion, let's help them. God was dealing with youth.
When you hold my hand,